welcome to the first episode of the Rudians Collective Podcast, coming to you live here from LC1 Production and Juan Avila Photography Studios here in beautiful Salinas, California. I am Gio, I play guitar.
I'm Benny, I play guitar.
AJ, drums.
My name is Steven, I play bass and I sing.
I'm Anthony, I play the keyboards and vocals.
Yeah, and the reason why we're doing this podcast is because, we've been talking amongst ourselves. It's kind of one of these things where if you don't talk about it, you kind of miss it. And, we've been playing music together for going on 10 years now. And, we've seen acts come and go. We've been a part of different events within our community. And we've been amongst some pretty interesting people. And not only people like Luis and Juan here who are willing to help out and get our message out, but musicians, artists, vendors, people who've been part of this journey. And we want to be able to share that with all of you who might not have any idea what either the music is like and or these community events. I think it's one of these things where we can all kind of express ourselves a little bit and talk about certain things like that. At least that's how I feel. But I know that these guys feel the same way, and that's why this podcast exists today.
Yeah, I mean, not just in the musical journey, but in life in general, you meet these interesting people that have stories to share, whether they're artists, photographers, business leaders, people that have small businesses, large ones now that are booming. Everyone has a story to share, and we'd like to give them a space to do that.
With that being said, to kind of capsulate again and reiterate the definition of what it is to be a Rudian, here's the definition. Rudian is a very special name. People named Rudian is loyal, trustworthy, and you can rely on them. They're very open and make the best of friends and can easily talk to anyone about anything. Rudian is a good person to have in your life.
So the Rudians are more than just like us. We call ourselves the Rudians, but everyone that's joined us on our journey is a Rudian and should be proud of that definition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where essentially the fans kind of named themselves, and we were even called Rudians as a band, and that's why we took on the name from a previous project that we once had some 10 years ago, right? It started a while back, and from various different genres. We all come from different backgrounds. We all like different things. For example, I'm really into metal. I come from like Spanish rock metal background. And, in that journey, I happened to go to school in the South Salinas Valley or the Monterey County. And that's where I met Benny, so it's one of those things where it's kind of been a lifelong journey. And then throughout that, we get to meet other individuals. I know AJ, when we started that project a long time ago, he was doing his project. And man, that was close to 10 years ago. And now he's behind the kit. I mean, what was that like, dude? Like you were doing a bunch of stuff back then too.
Yeah, I was just getting around at first, just jamming, and then started with Pacific Roots, did that for almost 10 years, and it was fun, man. The journey, it's definitely not an easy road, but it's one worth it if you stay on it long enough and everyone's committed. We're on the same page. That's, and that's one of the reasons why I actually reached out. If you guys were looking for anybody, I was a fan before a friend. So to be a part of this journey now is it's awesome. And I'm glad that I'm here with you guys today. So.
Wait, hold on. We weren't friends even before the Rudians? What? Wow.
Oh no, we were.
You're putting a timestamp on the friendship, AJ?
I knew these guys, of course. But as far as the band, I heard before, I think you had mentioned the project earlier was like Yerba Ruda. Won't go too deep into that, and then that's where I met you guys, and then it came to the Rudians, and I was like, damn, these guys are sick. It was probably one of the heavier hitting local bands that I've ever met, and I was like, these guys are my favorite. Like off the bat, the shows were great, they're fun, and then now I'm being able to I'm honored to be able to now contribute to this journey, and it's been great. It's been fun, and like what Gio said, it's just whole lot of different experiences. I know these guys went through way more, and I'm now in on it, and I can already feel like the hard work and the sacrifices that were made to put in that were put into this project, and it's great. It's fun. Yeah,
and that's the cool part too, is because we've all been supportive of each other's individual projects, for the past 10, 12 years. So I mean, for me, that's what's cool. Just based off of the artistry and the creativity here, the Monterey County area and plus the neighboring, the Tri-County area, there's so much talent out here, whether it's painting, poets, producers,
Yeah.
other artists and musicians.
And all the genres too. I mean,
Yeah, right?
like speaking of metal, like hardcore metal. This
Yeah.
dude's still in a metal band with Human Slaughter.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
thrash metal's my
thrash.
love thrash metal so much.
It's just the fact that we get to mend all of those different genres, working with different people, different sound engineers, all that back end stuff that no one really hears about or might not even care about is one of those things that we at least want to give someone the insight to, right? And not only in that aspect of people who worked with us, but to the bands too, right? It's like this. Some of my favorite bands, I probably know more about them than the band members themselves because I take an interest in them, right? And some people, and it's kind of crazy to think like some people that know our songs more than I know the lyric to our song or something like that. The time we played at Cali Roots, some kid, 15-year-old, like super pumped, comes to me, he's shaking, and he's just like, "Hey man, I've been watching." I'm like, "How?" Like, it's crazy. But it's one of those things where we can provide a little bit more insight into the back end of what's going on um, from the group rather than to hear or just watch one time and follow it down the road. And I think with that, we want to involve all of our fans, all of our friends, all of these supporting members in the community to kind of help us push our message forward. So one huge announcement that we have is that we're hitting the studio. A huge shout out to Sinai Recording Studio here in Salinas.
What up, Chris?
Chris, he's helped us out and we're working on brand new music. This is the lineup that we are running with for 2025. The music journey still continues, and we want to offer the opportunity to not only our supporting friends, but the fans to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And of course, we're working on a crowd fund to kind of see how we can involve artists, see how we can involve vendors, people who have helped us to really drive that message a little bit further because it's like this. Whenever we go out of town, whenever we set to go somewhere else, we're representing Salinas and not only Salinas, Central California, Central Coast California. And that's something that we hold dear to our hearts. And I know I'm doing most of the speaking, but at the same time, I feel like it's part of the band because it's one of these things that we've been talking about. And I mean, it's awesome. It's a privilege to be able to represent wherever we go with music. And I think music is a universal language that everyone can speak, whether it speaks loud to some and not so much to others. It's one of the things that bring people together.
Well, highlighting bringing people together. It's the cool part of the spider web that we've created over the years because, we pay our homage and respects and so on to the Salinas Valley, but then also we have all the chapters in different areas that we played in that have created like solidified family support or whatnot. From Bay Area and so on or whatnot. So it's been cool to see complete strangers take on our message and the music or whatnot and run with it and have it be a part of their day. You guys remember that one time we did the Halloween party at Stoney's? I think the very last time that we did. And Frankie's kid snuck into the 21 and Up show. But he was singing the majority of all the damn songs.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, stuff like that's cool. I mean, just the impact locally and abroad, it's been pretty cool to see it, since 2018 to where we're at now to, see the family that we've created, behind the stamp of being a Rudian without people knowing what the meaning is, but getting that sensation and understanding of what they interpret it to be for their own selves based off of the message in our music, which has been pretty cool. Gio, with the crowdfund, for anyone that doesn't know what that means to have a crowdfund album?
Yeah, so essentially what that means is that we're gonna put an account for people to donate money and be a part of something. So essentially, like whether we decide to go multi-tiered and they get a T-shirt, vinyls, all those types of things, you'll be able to pick a package, and you'll be a part. You'll have a credit essentially, be like, hey, I helped to do this, and then we can incorporate that and promote that as such as being a part of a thing because we're working with an amazing artist, Carlos from Reyes Muertos, who's going to be doing the art for us, and it's a concept album as well that encompasses the entire Salinas Valley, and it's one of those things where we want to be able to help out and to take in the influence from other people because we do take influence from that.
huge.
it's crazy how a complete stranger who has nothing to do with music can kind of lend themselves and be supportive when sometimes family doesn't, sometimes friend don't, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like that's incredible. Like I wish I could do more for someone who's just unconditionally supporting you, and this is at least our way of doing so. But yeah, we'll have links up on the description, all of that stuff, and we're launching our TikTok too.
Yep.
Steven's
Yep.
taking care of that, doing an awesome job there.
Make sure you follow us on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
The Rudians Official.
And yeah, essentially just kind of getting ready for that, and to hit the last leg of 2025 pretty heavy in the studio, to be able to bring out new material, new content, and just a whole nother vibe, you know.
Yeah, the vault has been waiting to spill out, so let's do it this year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, yeah, we've worked with a lot of different promotion companies, but one of the big things that I like that we're doing now is that we're kind of facilitating and setting up these events to bring in bands that are crossing through, or just us kind of paying out of pocket to bring live entertainment here, because not to say that the bigger events don't do that, but sometimes you don't really hear that in our area. One band comes once a year, and that's all we get. So we at least want to do that, and bring something that we can enjoy with everyone around here. So keep an ear out, keep an eye out for some new pretty exciting stuff to come. Anything else, fellas?
No, well, one thing I want to mention too, back to the crowdfunding thing, is it's pretty cool because like we're just announcing it today, and what's awesome about that is we're still working on different ways that, and because you could go on TikTok and you can go on Instagram and see, the stories are there. You see some stuff like the setups and how we're doing, but maybe like what recordings, like some behind the scenes stuff, some sneak peek stuff at some new tracks before anybody else could hear them, so and that's stuff that I'm looking forward to because just to hear the feedback as well, and I've always liked crowdfunding things. I've crowdfunded before, but it was towards a video game. But it turned out to be Friday the 13th, the one that they released, and it was a really good game, and
Yeah, it was.
all licensing, everything legit. But they gave us updates, demos and stuff. So I felt like I was actually a part of, like, not the dev team, but just like the playtest team. And I felt,
Right.
I mean, and I was just at home,
Mhm.
and it made me feel real special. It made me feel real cool. So with that, I'm sure we're aiming to make those that do want to help us out along the way feel the same. And whether you crowdfund or not, you still help us out. Your presence, streaming our music means just as much, and it's awesome. And hitting that follow button and sharing our music with everybody else, anyone else, really, it helps a lot. But yeah, the crowdfunding aspect it's awesome because we get to make you feel like you're coming with us to rehearsal,
100%.
and and that you're on the road with us. I'm not sure if we're gonna let you know what it's like when we stop at a gas station. I don't think you want to see us pick our road trip food, but I'm excited, to share a little bit more in depth, and make you feel like you're there. So that's what I'm looking for.
Well, if we can land a sponsor with the meta glasses, I think we can pump gas.
Yeah, yeah.
People,
Right, live now.
yeah, watch
Right.
us pump gas.
That's cool. I think that aspect of it is because I, as someone who's done it before and felt like I was a part of the team, it's cool, and I think people are going to feel the same way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've definitely done a couple Kickstarters and GoFundMe's like that to be part of different projects, and it is cool. It is something that you not only feel good, you believe in a project. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of people who I don't know or freaking believe, whether it's buying merch or just buying tickets and entrance to go to a show. It just shows, man. And now we get to show that a little bit, and it gets to be in writing, in paper, forever on this album that's gonna come on.
Yeah.
That's the really cool part. That's what I'm excited for and excited to share with everyone else. But yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for more. Again, this is the first ever podcast, Rudians Collective Podcast. Again, brought to you by LC1 Productions and Juan Avila Photography Studios here in Salinas. Keeping it local, true and through. We'll catch you at the next one for sure.
Thank you for the love and support.
See ya.